the good old days when cars were built for style and speed, safety wasn't really a huge concern. There were no seatbelts, and let's be honest, who'd even heard of an airbag? Those were the days of binge drinking and smoking a lot of cigarettes. Thankfully, we survived those times, but as it turns out, we now have a new threat: the smartphone. Are screens bad for your health? In just over 120 years, modern society has gone from the first film ever screened to a live audience, to the birth of television, home computing, and the internet. As a society, we're now completely dependent on screens of all shapes and sizes. The upside is, all this tech has made our lives richer and easier, but there are downsides too. The fact is, screens can pose a huge danger to our health by distracting drivers and pedestrians alike.
If you're distracted for just 2 seconds at 50 kilometres an hour, you'll travel 27 metres blind.
But beyond these attention-based hazards, our screen use is also causing many strain-related injuries. When we use our screens, our eyes are continually focusing and refocusing. This repetitive motion causes computer vision syndrome, a damaging form of RSI. Then there is the high-energy blue light, which is emitted by all devices. It can mess with our brain chemistry and even cause insomnia. Dr. Joanne Orlando is an expert in the field of kids and technology.
Smartphones have changed our lives enormously. You just have to think of your day-to-day life now compared to 10 years ago.
And she believes that our dependence on smartphones is starting to interfere with one of the most essential human relationships, the family unit.
When I go into a family, what I often see are kids over there on their device or by themselves on their device, and mum and dad over there.
As part of her research, Dr. Joanne works with Aussie families to find solutions to the relationship their kids are having with technology.
We are getting a bit disconnected with each other physically. You might be connecting with people online, but physically you're not talking to the person next to you. You are in your own online world.
This is Emily and her sister Sophia, and they're pretty typical of most Aussie teenagers who, according to research, spend more than 10 hours a day using their computers, mobile phones or TV screens.
I just think it's the attachment to the actual phone itself. Like, if I'm not with it for more than like an hour, I'll go back and there will be like messages and then have to scroll all the way back and read everything. And
on average, Aussies of all ages are spending about 143 days of the year involved with a screen of some sort. This incredible statistic means we're leading more sedentary lifestyles, heightening the risk of obesity. And let's not forget bad posture. Children often sit for hours in hunched over positions while using their laptops and phones. Okay, Jo, it looks to me like Sophia is going to have a very sore back very soon.
Yeah, that's right. A lot of us are in the habit of just pulling our head forward and arching our back when we're on our device. Yep. And it actually puts a lot of strain on your back. For every 2 centimetres your head goes forward, it's an extra 5 kilos of strain on your spine. Yeah, so we need to take care of the way that we sit when we're using our device.
Yeah, especially when we're young.
That's right. So let's fix you up.
Their dad Peter does worry, but for parents, screens are a fact of modern life that needs to be managed.
Well, my oldest daughter would be 12 hours a day, minimum, and that's both devices, computer and telephone. And my other daughter, that we still have a little bit of, compromising there, maybe 2 to 3 hours a day.
So there you have it. The technology that fuels our lives today has so much potential to make our lives better, but we do need to be careful and make sure we control the devices rather than the other way round.
Well, we are back with Lynette Bolton now. That was a really amazing story. Really sobering, wasn't it? And it's not just our kids who are getting addicted. Adults too are being overtaken by our digital lives.
And I think it's really easy to, pass it on to children because we do see kids with their screens. But as adults, we have phones, we have iPads, we have laptops, we have computers, and everything that we do revolves around a screen. So I do think adults actually spend a lot more screen time than they probably realise.
It's true. What can we do, though, to make a conscious effort to have less screen time.
And I think that's the thing, though. I think you do have to make a conscious effort because between emails and social media and all of those things that we do, even listening to podcasts and watching TV now, we do it, you know, on our phones. You do have to decide to do a few things. So when I get home, I like to leave my phone in the bedroom or in a room that I'm not in so that I'm not always checking it. And even with emails, things like maybe check it at 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. But just have a few little simple rules that you can follow. And it's conscious, like you said, you have to make an effort.
Yeah, and whose kids don't say, stop scrolling, Dad, stop scrolling, Mum?
And that's how you know, because our kids do that to us. They're like, Dad, get off the phone, Mum, get off the phone. You're like, OK, there's a reality check, put the phone down.
A little nod over there from Piper, who you brought in with her friend Zara. Stop scrolling, everybody. Great story. Thanks so much for that, Lynette.
Thank you.
And don't forget, every Sunday